listening to The Real with Rachel D on Atlanta's inspirational talk radio, Love 860. Hey everybody, welcome to The Real with Rachel D. I'm glad you guys decided to join us again this Friday as we talk about some celebrity hot topic and some things to get into this weekend. Of course, the craziest things I found on social media, because social media never fails. I am here joined with my co-host, Miss BJ.
Ho, ho, ho.
Are you ready? Happy? Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody out there. I hope you guys are enjoying your time off and you have safe holidays. Mm-hmm. But if you're stuck in your car in this traffic, which of course always happens on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we have some great things to talk about, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, BJ, let's just go ahead and get into something that has, I don't see it dying anytime soon, but everybody in the world has heard about it, especially if you're one of the few people I feel actually really watch Miss Universe. I didn't watch it, but you can't hide from it.
Exactly.
So, Steve Harvey did a major blunder.
Yes.
Jesus.
Hooked on phonics works for me.
Let me tell you, when I first heard that Steve Harvey had announced the wrong winner, the way I saw it in my head before I actually saw the video, I thought maybe he was like, and the winner is Miss Colombia. Oh, no, I mean Miss Philippines. Like, I thought it was like a quick blunder like that. But when you go back and you watch the video.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, she did her walk. She got her crown and sash. She did her wave.
Everything. She got in the car, went home, had a party, celebrated. They straight repoed action on her.
It was like a repo.
He
walked on there. He looked so pitiful.
And did you see? And I don't even think she speaks English. So when she was standing, she was like, "Come on." She was looking like, what's up? So I felt bad. It was awkward. It was extremely awkward.
And the hardest thing is, Steve Harvey's a comedian naturally.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have took it. I would have thought, like, is he kidding? Like,
right?
What?
He funny?
Because it was very awkward. He walked up and he was like, "I made a mistake. It was my bad." And there's a lot of debates going on exactly what happened.
Right.
Because 1 minute they said that the teleprompter said it was Miss Colombia, but then the card said Miss Philippines. But if you look at the card, a lot of people have been debating about how it was put. Like, I seen a picture of the card, and you have the second place runner-up, first place runner-up, and then at the very bottom it says Miss Universe in huge letters.
Yeah.
And under it says Miss Philippines. But everything is almost in the same font.
Yeah, and I think, he was in a rush. He wasn't paying attention.
The adrenaline.
The lights was bright. Somebody, maybe he was hungry, and he just, announced the wrong person.
He did, and it's like, I have mixed feelings here. Steve Harvey is a television vet.
Yes.
I mean, you're not just a celebrity, but you have your talk show. You're used to going off of teleprompters and cards.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what you're reading. But at the same time, I understand. Like, if you look at the card, it looked like it was printed off on little stickers, the names.
Girl, it looked like, that stuff they use for ransom letters. Like, if you get kidnapped, like they put it in there, Philippines. I mean, so how come they just couldn't write it? I mean, it's the Miss Universe pageant.
They could have, and if you looked at where Miss Universe was placed, it was placed to the bottom to the right, so it looked almost like a logo. Yeah. Like, I would have ignored it too, to be honest.
Somebody taped it on there with some Scotch tape.
Absolutely. So not only, I know Steve Harvey feels horrible, and the memes, guys, if you haven't, go on social media and look at those memes. Yeah. They will kill you time and time again.
Miss Ephesians and Miss Philippians.
There's one, it was like, you guys have gotten a Christmas bonus. No, I'm sorry. It says you're fired. You're fired. But no, they're super funny. But you know what? At the end of the day, Steve Harvey has the last laugh.
He did, girl, because they signed him for a multiple-year contract to come back and host.
Exactly.
But, let me tell you something. Next year, the size of that card in the font, we all going to be able to see it. You get called a Stevie Wonder, he going to be able to read that card and tell you who won.
And he's actually getting paid. They haven't disclosed how much money he's making for this, but he's getting paid more than any other Miss Universe host ever.
Oh, yeah. He getting it.
And I think it's because it was an honest mistake, and he, he admitted to it.
He did.
Because I think it happened back in 1996.
With a different
with Alan, show. What's his name? I think it's so-and-so's father, the one who married Paula Patton.
Robin Thicke.
Yeah, Alan Thicke's father. And what happened was they re-recorded the whole thing, right? They didn't even go back, and he didn't even admit that he made a mistake. They just redid the whole thing and pretended it didn't happen. At least Steve Harvey came up and was like, look, I made a mistake. I take full responsibility on this. And that makes him very likable because, accidents happen, right?
Yeah.
So he, there's no telling whether or not he's accepted this offer from Miss Universe, if he can,
Yeah.
But I know there'll be jokes next year.
Oh, it's going to be funny. He ain't going to live this one down.
Absolutely. So moving on, have you heard of the group TGT?
No, it sounds like a household cleaner. What is that?
It does. I know these three individuals. I know these three musicians individually, but as a group, I just never really followed it. It's Tyrese, Genuine, and Tank.
Oh, yeah, it's TGT?
Yeah, TGT.
Okay.
Well, Tyrese went to social media this week, and he mentioned how TGT has broken up.
Okay, so I did see that. I did read about that.
But not really broken up. It's more like Destiny's Child, Genuine.
Really?
Yes, they have kicked Genuine out the group, and he went through social media to post it, but apparently they never had that talk with Genuine. He really did Destiny's Child, because remember the other two members of Destiny's Child didn't know they were out the group until they saw the video?
Until they saw the video.
Yeah, so Genuine didn't know that he was out of the group until he saw it on social media, and he was upset. He called it a P move.
Goodness.
How do I say that?
I have no idea, but Tyrese sounds so anxious. I'm just saying to hurry up and post it. Well, did they have a replacement, or why did they kick him out?
No, it's just going to be Tyrese and Tank that's going to move forward. But honestly, if you saw it, they said what it was, that Genuine was not showing up to gigs, and he was incoherent to gigs. There's been
incoherent.
Yeah. There's been rumors that he's been, battling with the sauce and everything like that. So there was this one, it was so uncomfortable, this one live performance, I think on Good Day Atlanta. He looked out of it, girl.
Child, he been Bobby Brown in it.
He was Bobby Brown in it.
Wow.
Yeah, so they just finally said that, he doesn't show up to appearances and he doesn't do what he's supposed to do and is holding the group back. So Tyrese and Tank decided they'd rather just go forth with the group without Genuine.
Well, you can't let him, Genuine ain't being genuine about, his career. So I guess you got to move forward. TNT, blow it up. Woo! Exactly.
So TNT, I like that. But Genuine did post back on Tyrese's Instagram and says, call me. Don't try and manipulate the situation publicly. Whack, whack, whack of you.
Wow.
People still say whack?
In his world.
I didn't know that. But yeah, so that's the breakup of TNT. But honestly, if it seems like Genuine doesn't know, I don't really officially say that this is a breakup, because it has to be, unless of course you're Destiny's Child, it has to be like a mutual decision around everybody. But I'm all for it. I really didn't care either way. I like Tyrese as a singer and actor. I never really followed the group, so I don't care. But
I like all three of them. And if Genuine can get his act together, get cleaned up, sober up, drop that Jerry curl. He can get on back in the group.
His
get
Jerry
on stage.
curl is cute.
Girl, I'm sorry. I said Jerry. I meant to say S curl.
What's the difference?
It's the same.
But the name?
It's the same. One is dry, one is wet.
So that's
the difference. So,
which one's which?
The Jerry curl is the one that lead a Coming to America staying on your couch. Yeah. The S curl, it just glisten.
Okay.
So it still don't sit back on my seats in the Impala though. I'm just saying.
All right, so moving on, you know that Barbara Walters does her, Barbara Walters.
Yo, you said it like Barbara Walters.
Oh my gosh. No, but Barbara Walters does her most fascinating persons list every year.
Yes.
And of course, can you guess who made the list?
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead. Go guess.
Let me see. I'm the man. It's 50 Cent.
You were close. You were close. Try it again.
It's from the Kardashian clan.
Caitlyn
Jenner. She is in the media everywhere.
She is. And so she's held as a symbol of hope for the transgender community.
I love the fact that she is out and doing her thing. But they are like so many different communities out there that have other symbols of hope that have not even had a time to shine this year. Caitlyn came out and just knocked everybody out the water.
She did, and according to Barbara Walters, it says that our choice for the most fascinating person this year was once called the world's greatest athlete. Traditionally, that title was given to a man who won the Olympic decathlon, but it's now Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah.
It's so many fascinating people who have done so much. And like I said, it's nothing against Caitlyn, but that spotlight is pretty big. And I think it's time, we have so much room and so many people. Give someone else a chance to shine.
Absolutely. It says that her quote-unquote celebrity has launched a national discussion about transgender rights. I guess. like, she's not pushing for him.
Right.
She's just out there. She's transgender. She's already been in the media. She's kind of fame hungry. And I've never heard, and I might be ignorant because I don't necessarily follow her every move, but I've never heard her stand up for gay rights or transgender rights or anything.
No, she shrugs it off, like on her last that interview she had with Ellen. She kind of dances around the topic. So, I mean,
she's for her rights.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, absolutely.
Her right to receive bad plastic surgery. Oh, I'm sorry. What was
that, BJ?
Oh, nothing. Plastic surgery. I mean, I'm just saying, come on. There are so many transgender people that look so good. They do their life, and they do it all without a camera crew.
Absolutely.
That is fascinating.
Absolutely. So moving on to kind of another Jenner, actually.
Another one.
Another one. Kylie Jenner. So, Tyga and Kylie have been dating for a while, which is interesting because I actually watched the interview with the Breakfast Club with Tyga and Kylie Jenner. Mm-hmm. And he was denying, it was happening earlier this year, I think around February, and he was denying even dating her.
Really?
Yes. And so not only, of course, does everybody know once you turn 18 that they are officially dating, but now with everything that's came out with him supposedly cheating with a transgender person, texting a 14-year-old girl, that Kylie is about to leave him, and it's crushing him.
I mean, and it needs to. Dude is texting like barely teenagers, riding around on big wheels trying to get a new girlfriend. He needs to grow up, take care of his baby, and pay your bills. You still broke.
You know what? This right here, I have mixed feelings about this. Certain guys who will let certain women just embarrass the mess out of them. Mm-hmm. And it's like with Kylie Jenner, everybody knows that Tyga has financial issues.
Yes.
But you spend $1 million to buy this woman a Ferrari. Mm-hmm. She doesn't need it, and she doesn't need the money. No. Like, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, or I guess are now of days is called the Jenners and the Kardashians, and you are investing so much money in this 18-year-old. Of course your love is not going to last. Because she's 18.
Right.
She have a million boyfriends.
She loves her Starbucks probably deeply and more longer than, their relationship. It's ridiculous.
So I feel bad for Tyga for being stupid enough to allow, the media has really tore him down. Yes. From the transgender rumors to the 14-year-old to everybody basically really knowing you're dating an underage girl, yes. Kylie, and you're willing to go through the scrutiny and go through the labeling. People have called you a child molestation to be with this one particular girl, and you're about old news now.
Yeah.
So, that should be a lesson to a lot of men. It's like, look, one thing I love is a man who loves a woman. I do. I love a man who's willing to put himself out there and love a woman. But you have to really look at the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. She's 18.
She's not really a woman. Legally, she's a woman, but she's not really. She just got caught up in everything that's going on in her family, and she has a namesake. That's it.
And her dad is, you know what? We are going to not even bring that up. But, guys, you're listening to The Real with Rachel D. And I just want to remind you guys to show us some support on social media. Go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and like us at The Real with Rachel D. Coming up, by the way, this is Christmas theme music, BJ, your favorite. So I got you hooked up, girl. Coming up, Jackson 5, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. Keep it here.
All right, y'all. That was the Braxtons with Every Day is Christmas. And as you know, here at The Real with Rachel D, we bring you the best.
You looking cute.
You know what? Can't help. Rodney was on point that day, and I was too. But Rachel, I'm very excited. We have a friend here with us today.
I am too.
We have
Mr.
Motivation himself,
yes.
Mr. E.
Motivator, Mr. Jason.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's good to be back for the first time.
Yes, and our new home, absolutely.
That's
welcome.
Right.
Look at the upgrade, though.
I like it. Right? I like it. The new home is comfy and warm, and everything is working as it should.
Mm-hmm. We are so happy to have you on the show. He is a great motivator. He's a brother of KK Sai, so he's near and dear to my heart.
That's right.
As the ITB band folks as we go. So we're going to get into talking about you.
Yes.
So as a motivator, just tell us a little bit about who is Mr. E the Motivator.
Well, this thing started back in 2006. I had an idea back then. I was working at the school, and I wanted to make a song for the CRCT, which is the statewide test that they were taking back then. It's since changed into the GMAS. But I made the song for the school. The principal got it. He loved it. He's playing it for all the kids. The kids are all in the hallways singing it. And he shared it with a few other schools, and they loved it. That next year, I went to a different system. I actually came down to Clayton County and began working. I made the songs again, but that year, the media specialist, Mr. Craig Coleman, who's off the chain, he sent it to every media specialist that he knew in the state of Georgia. And so then I began getting emails from all around the state, can you do this? This is great. This is awesome. And then people began to invite me to come to their schools and present. So this was a hobby. I was just making little fun songs. It was a T.I. song. It was like, you got to study all week to pass the CRCT. Just little fun, little corny stuff. And from there, it just grew. So I figured if I'm going to go to school and they want me to come and perform, I need to have something to say.
Right.
And year after year after year, it's been growing. And now I've been all around the state of Georgia, Valdosta, every county, Clayton County, city of Atlanta, Gwinnett, DeKalb, you name it, Douglas, Fulton, Valdosta, Little Wissy, all the way down to Savannah. I've been to St. Simon's Island. That's all around Georgia. But we've also stretched out into Alabama, Florida, into Ohio, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and even Kansas. And it's just grown. And so now we have a full-fledged motivational presentation. I'm speaking to not only kids in elementary school, but middle schools and high schools. We're doing colleges also. And we're doing professional development for teachers, and we're doing things for parents too. So it's just a blessing, man. And this path was laid out. It was divine intervention, how it even got started. And so right now I'm just walking, man, and enjoying every part of it.
Wow.
So I did a little Instagram stalking, just a little bit.
Come on.
And I saw that you were somewhere. I know that a news channel hit you up about one of your Instagram videos.
Yes.
What was that about?
It was actually this year. It was in November. I spoke in Topeka, Kansas. I'm flying home. I had a layover at Chicago O'Hare, and everyone has a Chicago O'Hare airport story, right?
Yeah.
But I just so happened to land in Chicago during the largest November snowstorm that they've had since 1985.
Wow.
I was stuck in Chicago for 2 days. And that second day when I got there, because I had friends, we got hotels, how you have people, they use some points and got me a good rate on the room. So I came back to the hotel, and so I'm sitting there all day long from 8 in the morning all the way to 7 in the evening. So I just pulled my camera out, and I just started taking videos. And ABC reached out to me saying, did you take this video? Do you mind if we use it? I'm like, sure, why not? But I'm stuck in an airport. I mean, at least let me make some fun out of it. So, that happened.
Wow.
And this was they had pretty much done. So if you're in high school, depending on how your schedule's set up, you've either earned a half credit or you're halfway through your full credit in school. So right now is your opportunity to rejuvenate, to revive yourself, get some rest, and prepare to finish the year strong.
Yes.
Because no matter what you do, that school is coming. You have to be there. So I need you to make the best of it. I don't care what's going on, what happened from the beginning of the year, any of the ups and downs, because you're going to have them. But coming into the new year, come in with a new focus, come in with a new attitude, and be ready to produce. Get some work done and make it significant so that you can finish this year strong and move on to your next grade.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you're a strong Black male.
Come on now.
So for things coming up for Black History Month, you know,
Yes.
a lot of times people feel like, why is our history just compiled into 1 month, the shortest month of the year?
Yeah.
So what do you do to make sure that, we get the most fulfillment out of that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that we need to begin recognizing, yes, we need to understand our true history, everything that's happened to Black people in the United States of America. We need to appreciate all of it. And we also need to recognize and appreciate the Black history that's happening right in front of us.
Yes.
Because we get distracted by things and we forget that there's some historic things. The real Rachel D.
Yay.
is a part of Black history. It's happening right now. We need to recognize and appreciate that you have come here looking at your background. It's happening right now. Mr. E, the Motivator. It's happening right now. So we need to appreciate all of that stuff. So what I try to do when I go and I speak, especially in February, is just start to point out those things, all those TV shows, all those comedians, all the different activities in sports and whatnot. And let's appreciate it and give ourselves a hand. It's an educational thing.
Yeah.
It's not a separation thing. It's an education thing because everyone is benefiting from our Black history every day that we're here.
I know
Absolutely.
that's right.
I love that. So he threw us in there. I like that. You threw us a little shout out.
I got you covered now.
But Jason Etheridge, Mr. E, the Motivator, I want to, first of all, give you the opportunity to tell everybody where they could find out more information about you.
Yes, indeed. You can find me, well, I think the better question is where can you not find me?
Okay.
We'll start with the website, www.mrethemotivator.com. We can go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, WordPress, YouTube. That's enough. That's
Right,
6
that's
places.
a lot.
Hit it in Google. Go to Google. I own like the first 3 or 4 pages in Google with Mr. E, the Motivator.
That's what's
So
up.
we're pushing that social media piece because it's important. I work with a lot of younger kids. That's what they use to communicate. And then we make it real when I go to your buildings in our school and you can shake my hands and give me hugs and we can take selfies. And so it's all good. So find me, man. Let's get motivated. Let's keep doing it. And it doesn't matter. You can be a genius and still keep 100% of your swag. That's how this whole thing works. So get motivated, man, and let's do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I want you to stay with us because
Sure.
we have some crazy hot topics. And Miss BJ been blowing up on social media. We're going to talk about some of her statuses.
Okay, then.
But guys, you're listening to The Real with Rachel D with Miss BJ and Mr. E, the Motivator, Jason Etheridge. And I want you to keep it here. But coming up is CeeLo Green, What Christmas Means to Me. All right, everybody, and welcome back to The Real with Rachel D. That was CeeLo Green, What Christmas Means to Me. I've never heard that version.
I know.
But it was really good, right?
It was.
So, of course, I'm being joined with Miss BJ and Mr. E, the Motivator, Jason Etheridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Jason, this is the part where we talk about some of the craziest things we found on social media. Social media never fails, from the news articles we get to just people's statuses going up and down. So I'm going to skip this one news article because I feel like the second one is going to get us into a real debate. So I don't know what day it was. It might have been Monday. BJ was feeling it, girl. You was feeling it. Tell us about your status.
Well, basically, I was highlighting the fact of, so a lot of times when you deal with people in the public, you sometimes have to deal with their children. And I had just noticed there was some kids who used to come into the library. Now, it's not during my time there. So, like as a patron, you notice these things. But when the kids act up, they bring the parent in, and the parent always says, oh, not my kids. Oh, they're not acting up, when indeed they are cutting a fool. But then what really touched me is that I then turned around to see an article where 2 teenage boys around the same age, one got shot during an armed robbery, and the other one was sentenced to life in prison. So, and I'm like, but at what point do we accept responsibility for our children?
Yeah.
Stop coddling them, admit, yeah, my child is bad, and stop blaming someone else about it. And when do we step up and just step up? And it's just tiring because you get tired of looking every day and seeing these kids kill each other. And it's almost like they don't understand the gravity of their situations.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can come into play with that. On the one hand, if you have parents, parents' children for a larger part, their kids are the best thing that's ever happened to them. And so they're going to protect that one good thing that they have with everything that they've got.
Yes.
And so a lot of these things are allowed. Welcome to the world of education. This is what we deal with on an hourly basis, because kids are going to do things behind their parents' backs that their parents don't want to do, but they can't control themselves.
Right.
And we've also gotten away from that famous quote, it takes a village
To raise a
child. Because these same parents who want to protect their children don't want anybody else to touch them, to have a hand on them. And so it's becoming more and more of an enabling thing for kids to do what they want, because as long as they can go home and have a roof over their head and get fed, and if they do something negative, go to the store and get some clothes and some new shoes,
Right.
It just gets worse and worse over time.
Absolutely.
It takes a very strong person, a strong mind, strong will to say, look, you need to stop this little dude or young lady. you have kingdom in you, you have queendom in you. This is not what that is.
Right.
And we have to love it. It's a saying that is especially speakers. One of my very good friend, Kenny Walker, he says, we have to love our children more than they even love themselves.
That's
true.
In spite of their parents, in spite of them, in spite of some of their bad teachers, we gotta speak life into them. And but no, I understand it 100% because it's bad.
I hate to be like genderist, if that's even a thing, but I see a lot of it being with young men and moms.
Yeah.
Like moms and their boys.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced that. And it's like, if other parents treated their sons nearly as much as my mom put her foot in my back, then they wouldn't act this way. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like single moms but I don't know. It's like I would think you'd want to teach your son how not to be the man who might have hurt you.
Yeah.
Right.
But instead they coddle these boys and they know that she gonna always have my back. Mom's number one.
That's
when
right.
It's like mom should be the main one drop kicking you in the throat before the police have to.
Right. I mean, first of all, they say women cannot raise men. And I believe, couples can raise kids together, whether it's boys or girls, because one thing they need is love. And a lot of times, a lot of parents think, and I'm not a parent, by the way, a lot of women think, well, my son is a boy and I have to be a little tougher with him. Whereas with my girl, I'm going to protect her more, but he can handle himself. And a lot of times I think some women, they break these boys down and they allow that outside force to fill in where the mom stepped off.
I think it's a little different, though. There's some mothers who are like, well, he's a boy. He needs to sow his royal oats.
Well, then
and girls have attitudes. I need to keep her in check. And it's like sometimes you need to switch those methods. Yeah. It's the dude who needs to be in check.
It's a quote-unquote standard thing.
Yes.
I believe that a boy is supposed to behave in this way, so I need to let that boy, quote unquote, be a boy. When at the same time, no, that boy needs to know how to sit down. He needs to know how to have discipline. He needs to know how to obey instruction. He needs to know how to work with people who are not his parents.
Yes.
So that he can be successful also, just like you would, quote unquote, a girl.
Exactly.
Right? And so what happens with a lot of parents, because there may not be a man in the picture, to set that balance, because a boy needs a woman as much as he needs a girl, just like a girl needs a woman as much as she needs a man. Growing up, there's certain things that you're just going to get innately because there's a man there, and because there's a woman, and it's going to be something missing if one of those is not.
Yeah,
right.
And but again, the village concept, we have to bring it back in some form, and everyone has to find their lane and jump into their lane.
People just need to stop being in denial. I can't stand it. I remember seeing a news article earlier this year. A couple of years ago, there was a young boy, I think he was 18. He was known for gang banging and everything, and he needed a heart transplant. And the doctors didn't want to give it to him because, did you hear the story that he wasn't like doing right initially with his health? So they didn't want to give it to him. So the mother went on the media and was saying it was discrimination and all this stuff. So they give him this heart transplant, and then less than a year later, he hijacks a car, gets in the car accident, and kills himself.
Yes.
So it was like everybody saw that boy was just not worth it. I don't want to say nobody's life is not worth it, but that heart could have went to somebody else. But instead, the mom rallied. Instead of being real about your son, about being real about how he acts, what he does, he drinks, he smokes, he is not in proper health for this heart. But instead, you rally, you yell the discriminatory card and everything. So they kind of was forced to give this man this heart just for him to lose it. And then I think he might have killed somebody or something else in that whole accident. And I remember seeing what's an anchor from Channel 2? I think it's that light-skinned lady. I forgot. But she did a story on him.
Yeah.
And Jovita Moore. There you go. Okay. She did a story on him. And she came back and was like, I'm so disappointed. Because everybody was rallying. Your mom swore it was the world and not you. And then here we are. You're dead. You did it. It wasn't an accident. You hijacked somebody's car. And that heart could have went to somebody else who probably died waiting for it.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes, and like I said, I've dealt with this in my life. The moms need to stand up and it's like, look, as a grown man, you should be coddled by me. As a grown man, society and the police are not going to see you like I see you.
Right.
And if you're acting some kind of way, there's a reason why people view people the way they are. And the whole world can't be wrong. Your child can't just be making F's because I'm having a bad day and I'm trying to single out your child.
Yeah.
If they ain't doing good, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I say it jokingly, but I call it the independent woman syndrome. Because there'll be certain women that say, I can do it by myself. I don't need anybody's help. I pay my own bills. I do this. I do that. I can do it. I'm God. I can raise whatever kid by myself. And they'll block off any help or any support that anybody else gives. And unfortunately, these are some of the results that happen. And it's not the majority.
Right.
Now, this is what gets TV time the majority of the time.
Yes.
Because we have some single parents out there that are handling
they business. Yes.
But it's the unfortunate stuff that gets most of the TV time. So we have to make sure we keep that in perspective also.
Yeah. And that's why I'm so proud, and we really need to embrace programs like what Mr. E, the Motivator, is doing. Because for those parents who are seeking help and they want help, we need like at least 10,000 more of you.
No, yeah.
Because, we need to see that. They need to be able to reach out and touch you and let you know you matter. Yes. And I think that's what a lot of these kids need to know, that you matter.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And for every one of me, like I'm not speaking alone. There's a circle of gentlemen with a circle of, what is it? The super friends.
Yes.
that we have that are in this work. And I'll say it's about a good network, a close network that I have personally of 7 men and women, 7 or 8 men and women that I'm connected to. Each of them are probably connected to another 7 or 8 women of their own that they keep close to them. So the social entrepreneurship network is strong. It's heavy. It's in Atlanta. We're buzzing. But you also have crooks.
That's true.
You also have folks that are using young people to benefit themselves.
Yes.
They'll mismanage funds, or they'll under-deliver and over-promote. Right, and they don't handle their business in the way that it should be handled for our young people, and folks, kind of put their hands off, when it comes to people like us who are real about it. We do this every day. This is what we have been called to do, not just a hobby for us, But no, I agree. For every positive person that you see out there, I need everybody to share, like, comment, and say, look, this is a good dude. If you're looking for somebody, share it. This is a good young lady. She's doing these things for our young girls. Share it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And don't be so selfish about it, because we need to be out there just like, every athlete and every, somebody has a baby. Beyonce, what's her name? Blue Ivy? Blue Ivy. It took over.
Yeah,
exactly.
It took over the social media, and that was, a few years back.
But no, I definitely agree with you. Like, we need more. One thing I cannot stand, and with everything that's been going on with the police and stuff, one thing I cannot stand is a person who acts like they ain't been there.
Yeah.
Like, when they talk about, like, Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin and stuff, it's like, even if they did get an attitude with the cop, who wasn't 18 with an attitude? Like, I cannot stand an adult who becomes an adult. You can vote, you can drink, and all of a sudden, no, I was this perfect teenager who always listened and never had an attitude. I don't understand why they're I can't stand that.
Right.
Yes, you do. Like, I would totally mentor young girls, especially like young tall girls, because I remember that time where you did not feel pretty. You were not liked by the boys. You were not figuring out why you can't find any pants that ain't high waters. Like, I get it, and it's like it feels good to talk to somebody who's been there, who could tell you how the future is. Like, if you hang on, it could be so much better, girl. And so a lot of times as adults, I don't know why we do that. I love getting in Facebook fights with people. I really do. And it's like, don't sit there and pretend, because I know you, honey. I remember you in ISS. Don't pretend like you have never been there, and you cannot sympathize. I was never in ISS, by the way. I just happened to walk by the door and see them sitting in there. But don't pretend like that's something you can't understand, because that's what when we were back there, we didn't know any better. We never knew our life was going to be this way. But you talk to adults who kind of let you know it happens, it passed, your mistakes, you can get past them, and then that makes you feel better.
This is where image comes in. And when you hear people talk about rap music and all these videos and whatnot, and looking at it from our vantage point, it's not an issue. It's just music for us. But everybody in the world is listening to his music. So if the one thing I see is bang, 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 I'm shooting birds and I'm selling drugs, I'm doing this. If I have no idea where that comes from, that's a frightening image to me.
Right.
Right? So if I'm a cop and I work in 99% problems with 90% black people, I'm going to think that the music basically fuels them to do the 99% of the things that I see.
Exactly.
So as soon as I see that image, because now it's a subconscious, I've been subconsciously trained that when I see sagging pants, when I see gold teeth, when I see dreadlocks, when I see this, that, and the other, I'm automatically trained to that's a danger.
Yes.
So, forget all my other training. Something is probably going to happen here, whether he's innocent or not.
Yeah.
Because at that point, because I don't come from the background, I have no idea other than what I've been exposed to.
The imagery.
It's the image is damaging. And that's why it's important that we measure what the images on television and the words that we hear in our music are saying. That's where the problem comes in. It's a propaganda that's being sold not just to black people, but it's being sold to everybody.
That's true.
And everybody is not black. And so when they see that black image, they're going to automatically remember it. Here's the thing with me. I travel around the country, I speak. When I get off the plane, if I'm not dressed like this, nobody pays me any attention, right? Well, let me say, if you listen on the radio, I wear a bow tie every day. I wear a suit and I wear some nice Adidas Sambas every day. When I'm not doing that, I have on jogging pants, I have on a hoodie. If I wear a tank top, I got tattoos and all this other stuff, right? I just got one of my wife. Me and my wife, we got our rings tattooed on our fingers. Aww. And so when I'm in that mode, the East Atlanta mode, right? Because I'm from Decatur, went to Magna High Schools, Gresham Road stand up, Boulder Crest stand up. When I'm in that mode, people treat me like that because now I have a certain image. But when I'm in Mr. E mode, people want to know how I'm doing. They want to ask me about the weather, right? They want to know how what I feel about the Falcons and the Hawks. It's an image thing, and we need to start controlling the image. So for every hood post you put out, or for every ratchet post you put out, put out an uplifting post.
That's true.
Take a picture of you in your suit or going to work. Just do it, and just provide a little bit of balance, man, because that image is destructive to your subconscious,
really
and that's what a lot of this stuff leads to.
Absolutely.
Mr.
That is the word.
Right.
I know. He is on point, you guys.
It was funny because when he said that with imagery, a really good friend of mine, he's Asian, Charles Liu, and everybody, when he comes just to holler, everybody's asking him if can he fix their computer. Dude don't know nothing about computers.
It's crazy.
He's like, I'm not with IT. Jeez.
Yeah.
Goodness
boy,
gracious.
I'm glad we got some good information from me. That that is so right. I am so happy that you said that. Hopefully, we're going to help you circulate that, Mr. E, the motivator, because it is true. Image is everything. But guys, make sure that you keep it here to The Real with Rachel D. We have a song coming up for you. It's one of my favorite singers of all times, Miss Whitney Houston, here with Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Keep it here. All right, everybody, and welcome back to The Real with Rachel D. That was my soul sister, Miss Whitney Houston. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. That was so soulful,
It was
it?
very, very.
It was. But Miss BJ, we have to learn, what was your hashtag of the week?
This is Miss BJ from The Real with Rachel D, and it is time for the hashtag of the week. Well, my hashtag of the week is a festive one, and it is hashtag #FaLaLaLaFool. And it's basically meaning just because it's the holidays, y'all, don't slip up and be a #FaLaLaLaFool. You got bills to pay after Santa Claus get here. And we all know your lights gonna be out if you still sitting by candlelight with the fire going. And here it is, December 29th.
Rachel, you are so on point.
#FaLaLaLaFool.
I love it.
If you can't afford it, don't buy it. These kids will understand. Or do like I said, and we mentioned in the episode before, buy the clothes, tuck the tag, Febreze it, take it back. Georgia Power got to get paid regardless. So,
BJ, that threw me so bad, girl.
I'm just saying.
What's it called again?
#FaLaLaLaFool.
You are absolutely the best. I gotta say it, man.
So hashtag #FaLaLaLaFool. Okay. That was a good one, though. It was very, very funny.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So this is the time where I tell you guys some great things to get into. Merry Christmas, if we haven't said that for the 12th time in this show. But it is Christmas, and in case you don't have plans to, be with your family and eat and sleep and open gifts, what are your guys' weekend plans? There's tons of stuff to get into, right?
I'll go first.
Sure.
I'm a Atlanta Hawks season ticket holder.
Oh.
And tomorrow, they'll be playing the New York Knicks, and there'll be a halftime and post-game performance by the one and only CeeLo Green.
Oh, wow.
And so, that's going to be great. CeeLo's been doing it for many years. I just want him to sing soul food. If you do soul food tomorrow, that'll make my night.
Helping the fried chicken, macaroni and cheese.
That's
I
right.
agree.
Miss BJ.
Wow, I'm gonna be trying to maybe buy some hot tickets maybe to go see that game. So, gosh, that's gonna be great.
All right, so I'm gonna give you guys some things to get into real quick. At the Georgia Aquarium, one of my favorite places, there's a festival of the seasons featuring a light music show, tree lighting ceremonies, Santa and Scuba Claus, and live entertainment at the Georgia Aquarium. And the discount tickets you can get on event12.com. And there's also a Rudolph puppet show. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a puppet version of the classic TV show that's going to be at the Center of Puppetry Arts here in Atlanta. And there's also discount tickets going on in Events 12. So before we wrap up, BJ, you got something going on, right?
Oh, yes, child. So it is something in addition to, we all know, bringing in the new year, new me, that same old jazz. But I would like you guys to join me on my journey for getting lean in 2016. So I'm going to be posting some videos, some blogs. Just need your help, motivation. And if you got tips, send them in, because Lord knows I'm going to need them. So, yes.
You want a tip? Start with cardio.
Usually the last time I ran, a dog was chasing me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to.
We'll call it dog motivation. We'll call that motivation.
Exactly.
Instant motivation.
But I'm definitely taking cardio and cutting carbs.
Yeah.
So those are the best tips I got. So, Rachel, what you got?
Water. Yeah. Austin put up a water bottle. So water.
Good call,
yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, tequila.
Rachel just woke up. So
Right.
Did you hear that, Austin? Did you hear it? He said tequila. So yeah,
Is the healthiest.
There we go, Patron, baby.
So a couple shots a day will keep the doctor away.
And guys, you can see all about Miss BJ's weight challenge on our YouTube channel on The Real with Rachel D, including some of our older shows.
Nice.
And we keep you guys updated every week with the newer shows. And you do not want to miss out, because we have some great things that we have coming up this year in 2016. But Mr. E, the Motivator, please tell everybody one more time where they can find more information.
www.mrethemotivator.com. Drop it into Google. That's Mr. E exclamation point, the THE motivator exclamation point. And you'll find me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and a litany of other places, Pinterest, the whole 9 yards. Thank y'all. Thank you for having me, Rachel, BJ. I really appreciate it. This was awesome.
Thank
as
you so
usual.
much. Now, guys, remember to support us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and SoundCloud, but especially YouTube, because like I said, that's where you can find Miss BJ's Weight Loss Challenge. And I'm thinking about doing something myself. Who knows what 2016 has coming up, but make sure that you guys watch and subscribe and go on Facebook and like us. But we really enjoy you guys tuning in and joining us every week like you do. And we want to leave you with some Chris Brown this Christmas, and we'll see you guys next week.